I'm Kira. This is Anarchy Acres Farmstead, and today I want to show you guys how we move our cows every day. Now we have 3 cows. 2 are dairy. One's a Jersey cross, one's a Jersey, and the other one is a mini. And we have them on approximately an acre, maybe a little bit less of a pasture. And they've been here all summer long through a really dry summer, and we've managed to rotate them intensively every day. We have them on about a 36-day rotation, and they go through this field, and we still have, Harley, show them, we still have really good forage out here. It's still really nice and high, and this is the beginning of October, and the weather's been pretty cool, so we actually haven't had a whole lot of new growth recently. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how we do it every day. And the first thing I did is I untied this. I keep this tied up here, so every day I untie this. There's a spool here so you can see. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to walk down. We have an alleyway set up so that the cows can come up here and drink water, and we don't have to take water out to them. So we set up this alleyway. Okay. So this is the paddock. This is a tiny little paddock, but this is the paddock they were in yesterday. So really quick, I'm going to grab our extra spool. And grab our couple fence posts, and I think we have a couple other ones over here.
I put some down there.
Okay, great. And this is the spool here. Whoop. Let me fall over. This is the spool here for today's paddock. And I know this seems like a lot right now, but it'll all make sense in a minute. Don't want them to get out. Okay, so here we go. Alright, so here's today's paddock. And because the grass isn't growing as much as it was, I'm going to make their paddocks a little bit bigger. This area right here, why it doesn't seem as lush as some of our stuff further out, is because earlier this year we had a lot of a drought and everything was a dust bowl, nothing grew. There was no forage whatsoever. So we actually fenced off this rectangular area for probably about 2 weeks, and we let them just stay in this area, and we fed them hay. So this area hasn't had as good of growth, but you can see that it's come back really nice and thick. We have a lot of clover, red and white clover. So it's actually doing not bad considering. So I think I'm just going to take one of these. That should be enough. We'll move those in a minute. Okay. So there's no real rhyme or reason. I just kind of guesstimate an area. And the first thing I do, this here is our center line. This is always hot, this line is. It runs right up to the fence zapper, and then it goes the entirety of the pasture field, and then it comes back. And so it's always hot. So this is what we attach our jumper to, which you'll see here in a minute. So I put that fence line here. Then come to about here, and I put in another post. This will give me, if I can get it in, this gives me my alley. So I'll always have my alley up to the water. Then from that, we'll just walk up here. Gonna add a couple more posts. Okay, this is our horse pasture. This is our sacrifice area. That's why it's got no grass in it whatsoever. The horses will be in this area over winter, and there's no point in putting them in an area with grass because they'll just destroy it. So now we're going to run our new paddock. We just got one of these cheap spools from Rural King. I think the spool itself was $17. It's really inexpensive, and this is just white 1/4-inch poly rope. Very cheap, the cheapest stuff they had. So we start here, and I have a loop. We're just going to put the loop over the insulator like so, and we're just going to walk. We used to use the Premier 1 cow netting, and we like that system for rotational grazing, but it was difficult to wrap up, and almost every day I would step in it and trip, and it was heavy and bulky, and so we wanted to find a better way, and this is what we came up with. And it works so much better. It's so easy. Anybody can do this. And for us, on small acreage, this really, really works out. Our cows are 100% grass-fed, except for the little bit of the time in the summer where we had to give them hay to supplement, and in the winter we also give hay, because obviously there's no grass. Aside from that, they're grass-fed. We do not give them any grains, and for them being dairy and dairy cross, their body condition really shows how well this works out.
Do you want me to grab that jumper real quick?
No, we can do that after. I'll take the camera and show everybody what you do after that. I have found I prefer these metal posts with these insulators. They're cheaper than the plastic ones, and I prefer them. They're more heavy duty. They don't bend as much, and I prefer those ones to these plastic ones. These snap all the time and break, so they're a pain in the butt. And we're almost done. Come on, girls. Come on. You excited?
Don't come
She
out.
won't. She's just excited. Just let me tie this off, and then you can move them.
Wait.
So then I just make a loop, tie a square knot, and attach it. This can lay on the ground. I just make sure that the wire isn't touching any of the metal to ground it out, like so. And that's it. That's all we need to do. And I will show you Harley moving the cows. Well, not just went by herself, because that's what she does now. Harley disconnects that.
Watch out, Jade.
And the girls come right over. And then we'll just take this around. So the new alley, I'll show you how we do that while Harley starts collecting this pasture from yesterday, or from today, I guess. So remember I said I released the other spool way up there by the sheep. So what we do here is we're just unattaching it, and I'm moving these insulators around. It's hard to do with one hand. Okay. And you can see that spool up there. And all I do is just pull this along. It's getting hung up a little bit.
Can you hold that?
I got it. It's just hung up there on that spool. It's hard to do with one hand. But I'm just backing up. And this is creating the new alley. So essentially, if you have 3 spools, and you don't even need a reel on one of them. If you have 3 spools, we're back here now, and you can see I'm just gonna and down to this one, just like that. And now we have a new alley, and they're in here. Move these posts. I'll get it. Move those out here for tomorrow. Okay. You can see this is the area that they were in. And they started up there about 16 days ago. So the regrowth isn't fantastic right now, and we're getting to the end of grazing season. They've been out there. So you can see the difference between that and this, which is much thicker and lush. So judging on the rate of regrowth will depend on if we keep rotating. I'm hoping to get in midway into November. Hopefully it'll work out. If not, then we'll just pull them in sooner and feed hay. But what I was gonna say is you can do this whole system. All you need is 3 spools and just 2 of them on a reel. So pretty inexpensively, a few step-in posts, enough to get you an alleyway and get you paddocks. And these metal posts are, I think, less than $2 at Rural King. Don't quote me on that. They might be closer to 2 now, you know, inflation. Things change daily, it seems. But otherwise, you can do this very easy. It's so much easier and so much cheaper than using the Premier 1 netting, like I said, we've been doing before. And I can't think of doing it any other way at this point. Oh, I gotta move that jumper. Harley, where was it? Right here. Okay. The jumper is just this little piece of wire right here. And what we do with this, again, I told you this middle wire is our hot, and it runs the full length. So we just connect off to it. So in order to make our paddocks, our daily paddocks hot, we just take this little piece of wire and we attach it to the poly wire, the poly rope. I can do it with one hand. And then we attach it here. Here, you want to hold this?
Yeah.
And twist it off. Make sure we're making a good connection. And that's it. That's how you do it. He's fine. All right. So then I'll just take you up here and show you how I tie off the end of this poly wire. And then that's it. And we've completely moved the cows. Look, get over here. You're gonna have to get a bath if you keep it up. We've completely moved the cows in, what was that, 10 minutes?
I would say so.
Caleb's giving them water. So here's the spool that we use up here. I'll let you turn it on first. As you can see, we have our fence zapper right here. This connects to, this is the wire that makes the center alleyway. And here's the spool, the bottom part that does the center alleyway. And we're just making a square knot with a loop and just tying it off to the step-in post. Okay. And we're making sure that, okay, Jade, little potato. We're making sure that this spool, nothing is touching the ground. So it's a little, gotta tighten it up a little bit. That's it. That's it. All right, sorry about the switching of the phone back and forth. We're not doing video edits. We're not that fancy yet. But that's how we do it. That's how we move our cows. And that's how we have our cows, our 3 cows on 100% grass. And we rotate them on 1 acre, and it stays beautiful and green and lush all year round. It's super easy. Anybody can do it. I hope that inspires you guys to try it yourself. I hope you all have a great day, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.